A lot of people's first go-to fuck-off statement when I say that I want competitive multiplayer in games like Ghost Recon is go play COD if you want to be a tryhard, which, I mean, is obviously ignorant, right? But I got to thinking that, like, maybe my thought process is different, and I wanted to make a video to explain where I'm coming from in hopes that I can maybe clear up this statement. I come from the days where SOCOM and SOCOM 2 just absolutely reigned supreme on the PS2. You know, that 2002, 2003, 2004 time gap. Those who are longtime followers know that I have spent over half my life playing and talking SOCOM. It was the pinnacle of third-person multiplayer. So when Zipper started changing things and going downhill with SOCOM 4, which was a god-awful abomination, the only other resort for that third-person tactical gameplay was Ghost Recon. Now, it's not like I wasn't playing those games already, but Ghost Recon had always been a secondary to that SOCOM experience for me. So when I hear that I should go to COD if I want to play multiplayer, coming from the camp that has played both tremendously, I understand that these games offer insanely different experiences when it comes to competitive multiplayer. Obviously, aside from the camera perspective, I always felt that the third-person tactical games like Future Soldier, like SOCOM, like Advanced Warfighter 2, they offered more team play with objective-based game modes. Siege in Ghost Recon Future Soldier, which was the no respawn mode, that was a dream come true coming at a confrontation. Team play is the focus. Communication over run and gun. I prefer third-person games because you can see more of your surroundings. And a lot of people like to talk about how you can exploit the camera to look around corners. And I understand it when we're talking about games like Arma and games like DayZ, where you can play in first or third person, right? So if I'm playing in first person, I'm obviously at a disadvantage in those games. But when it came to SOCOM and Ghost Recon, everybody played in third person. So you run up to an alleyway and it's a long, narrow gap, and you really don't know if somebody is behind that corner or not on the other side. So it's all about, now, can we get an angle on this so we can clear this so I can take the bomb to Objective A, or whatever the situation called for. It usually required a teammate tossing a grenade or you throwing a grenade and them having to move and you being able to dip and duck in between like little jut-ins in the alleyway or whatever the situation is. I felt that it offered a more intense yet a more informed experience, if that makes sense. And what I mean by informed is I was able to see more of my surroundings, so I can use call-outs to my team to say, no, I'm looking over here, I can see this around the corner here, we're golden if you want to bring the bomb this way. It was all situational, of course. I'm making this situation up, but those situations did happen. Last year, I started a petition and a movement to bring SOCOM back. We went at Sony. They were doing building the list. We got SOCOM remastered up to the top of that list. We got acknowledgement from the original creative directors. Sony reps acknowledged our movement. We did a great job in doing what we needed to do, and that was bringing SOCOM and bringing it back to Sony and saying there is a fucking fan base out here for that. So if you guys don't understand why I want multiplayer in Ghost Recon, it's because I live and I breathe this shit. This is what I do. If a new SOCOM came out and it was like SOCOM 1 and SOCOM 2, I don't think you guys would ever see anything else on the channel. You know, and that's the reality. This is like what I do. This is what I talk about. So the people coming in off of those Ghost Recon videos and just ignorant to who I am, at first, I was like, yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You guys don't understand. But I understand now that the reason you guys don't get it is because you don't really know who I am. You know, that video was me talking to the people who already know who I am. You know what I mean? I didn't expect that video to blow up like it did, right? And it brought in a whole bunch of new people. So at first, I was very spiteful, like, fuck all these new people. But I'm starting to realize, like, I gotta kind of explain myself better in the off chance that this video is going to be seen by a lot of people. So this is my follow-up to that. We need third-person multiplayer. And I know some people are like totally against it, but I am an advocate for it because we don't get enough of it. And that's like when I hear go play COD, it's like I could go play COD, but it's not giving me what I want. We don't get enough third-person competitive multiplayer games. There just isn't any right now. You know, the closest thing we have right now is Uncharted 4. And it's not really tactical in that sense. Like, there's magic and swinging on ropes and stuff. It's not really that. But the sad reality is Uncharted 4 is the closest thing. Maybe The Last of Us, if you look at that multiplayer and how slow-paced and methodical it is. That's the closest thing we have to the glory days of games like Ghost Recon and games like SOCOM. So I'm an advocate for that. If you guys don't like that, I'm sorry. But I grew up on that shit, you know, so that's why I need competitive multiplayer in Ghost Recon. You know, and the thing is every Ghost Recon, I think since the second one back on the original Xbox, I think is when we started getting competitive multiplayer. And then obviously it transformed into like Advanced Warfighter and Future Soldier, which you guys see in the background. I actually went and picked up for a really cheap price on Uplay, just to give you some gameplay as I talk over this. Because I originally played it on consoles. This is the PC version. But yeah, man, like I'm an advocate for third-person competitive multiplayer. Specifically one life game modes too. The one life, the no respawn, that is a pinnacle of the SOCOM gameplay that we used to love back in the day. And like I said, all my old school people who have been at this channel for a long time, you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. But for these new people, I thought I would just give a little bit of perspective where I'm coming from and where I want to go in the future. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below. I'm not going to put a poll up this time. I just want you guys to leave a comment and use the keyword third person, hashtag that. That lets me know you guys made it to the end of the video. I want to know what you guys think. Are you a first person perspective proponent? Or are you okay with third person as well? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.